First up, this little guy right here, the hose end sprayer. Now, I'm a backpack sprayer guy myself, but if you're looking to cover your lawn with liquid fertilizer or amendments on a small budget, this is your guy right here. This $16 hose end sprayer takes whatever liquid product you've got, whether that be fertilizer, sea kelp, molasses, or any liquid that needs to be watered into the soil, and automatically mixes it with water as you spray. Just pour it in, attach it to your hose, and walk around your lawn like you're watering it. I'm actually surprised at how well this ortho spray and dial worked. There are no leaks, and it has an adjustable dial to let out more or less product. The one negative that comes with this is that sometimes it's hard to tell how much you're putting down per 1,000 square feet. But after a few times of using it, you'll get used to the walking speed and spraying speed you need to use. All right, let's talk about one of the smartest tools for fixing bare spots in your lawn, the ProPlugger. This thing pulls perfect uniform plugs of healthy grass from one area of your yard and lets you transplant them into thin or damaged spots. Think of it like nature's copy-paste tool. Any spreading type grass, you can exchange the plugs from one part of your lawn that you don't care about to the dead area of your lawn. All you have to do is just push it down, twist, and pull. Out comes 2-inch plugs that stack up neatly inside the tube. You don't need to seed, you don't need sod, you're just reusing your own lawn to repair itself. Once you've plugged the new area, give it some water and fertilizer, and that area will fill in extremely well compared to waiting for a huge dead spot to fill in. This one might look like it belongs in a garden bed, but don't sleep on the hand cultivator, especially if you're filling in small areas that need to be reseeded. Now, most beginners miss this step. You just can't throw down seed on hard-packed soil and expect it to grow. It just won't. You gotta loosen the surface first. That's where this $36 claw comes in. Now, before you throw down seed in bare spots, take 30 seconds and rough up the top inch of soil with this tool. You'll be creating mini craters for the seed to fall into. Better seed to soil contact equals better germination. Now, if you got compacted areas, pet damage, or just rough areas, this tool is perfect. I also use it after I put down my seed to make great seed to soil contact. You can use it in your flower beds too. 2 birds, 1 claw. Okay, let's talk edges. The difference between a decent lawn and a clean, pro-looking lawn is in all the details, and edging is one of those details. I use this $38 Ames edging knife, but any good manual edger will do. This thing's like a scalpel for your lawn. You run it along your sidewalks or your driveway, and it slices out that overgrown grass creeping onto the concrete, instantly giving your lawn that clean, fresh haircut look. You don't need a gas edger or anything fancy. Manual tools are quieter, cheaper, and still get the job done. Plus, they're beginner friendly. You're not going to scalp your lawn or go into it by accident like you can with the electric or gas powered edgers. I do this every few weeks during the growing season, and it makes a huge difference. If your lawn looks or okay even after mowing and fertilizing, definitely try edging. It's one of the fastest ways to make your lawn pop. This tool is perfect for small lawns, as you don't even need to use a traditional walk-behind spreader if you have this. I actually use it on my lawn all the time, even though I have somewhat of a large lawn at 10,000 square feet. You have so much more control, and sometimes it's just easier to do quick, easy applications with it. You fill it, crank the handle, and it throws product evenly in a fan pattern as you walk. It's super simple. No batteries, no wheels, just you and a crank. You can point and aim exactly where you want the product to go at the speed you want it to. All right, now this is one I think every homeowner should have. A 1 or 2 gallon pump sprayer, also called a spot sprayer. You've probably seen these at the stores. They're the ones that you pump up and spray by hand. These are perfect when you don't need to cover your entire lawn. Let's say you've got a patch of crabgrass or you see clover sneaking in. You don't want to treat the entire thing, just spot treat it. This also saves you time, product, and keeps your good grass safe from unnecessary chemicals. It's also great for spraying insecticide treatments around the perimeter of your house. And the best part, it's cheap and gives you way more control than hose end sprayers when you need precision. Now, this goes hand in hand with the last product, and it's absolutely needed for beginners in my opinion, and that's spray dye indicator. If you've ever sprayed something like weed killer, but then 5 minutes later couldn't remember exactly where you've sprayed, this one's for you. It's a temporary dye that's usually blue that mixes with whatever you're spraying and shows you exactly where you've been. It helps avoid double spraying, missed spots, or creating zebra stripes across your yard. You just add a tiny bit to your sprayer, mix it in, and boom, you can see exactly where you've been. And no, it won't stain your grass. The color fades in a day or two. If you're a beginner, this is one of those cheap little add-ons that saves you from rookie mistakes. Now, I know this one's not flashy, but let's talk PPE, personal protective equipment. If you're spraying anything that smells like chemicals or has warning labels, you definitely need to gear up. First off, I like to use a respirator. Now, don't go using a dust mask or an N95. You need to use a legit respirator with cartridges made for vapors if you actually want it to do something. You don't want to be breathing in herbicides, 2,4-D, insecticides, any of that stuff. Also, you want waterproof gloves and boots. Chemicals will soak through regular fabric and shoes. And if you've ever had weed killer splash on your ankles, yeah, not very fun. I also wear waterproof pants just so I'm protecting myself completely. And listen, I know it's tempting to just go out in flip-flops, hit a couple weeds real quick, but protecting your body is way cheaper than regretting it in the future. Safety isn't overkill, it's just smart. Let's be real. Most lawns suffer because people forget to water or water way too much. That's where a water timer or irrigation controller comes in. You just hook it up to your spigot, program your schedule, and it handles the rest for you. Simple as that. For beginners, this takes out the guesswork or the manual labor of watering yourself without an irrigation system. You can set multiple watering times, add rain delay features, and even connect it to your phone if you're feeling really fancy. It's not just about convenience either. Consistent watering leads to stronger root systems and fewer weeds. Honestly, if you don't have an irrigation system, this is 100% the way to go. Now, these might be the most underrated lawn tools on this list. A simple kitchen scale and measuring cup. But here's the deal. Almost every fertilizer or seed bag gives you application rates, like 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet or 5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. But how are you supposed to eyeball that? You're really not supposed to. You need to weigh it. Now, if you're applying fertilizer and don't measure it out, you're either A, wasting money, B, risking burning your lawn, or C, not putting down enough to actually get results. Same thing with liquid products. A lot of them need 2 or 3 ounces per gallon, for example. So just grab a cheap measuring cup and label it lawn use only. You don't want to accidentally mix up your weed killer with pancake mix. A $10 scale and a dedicated cup are absolutely essential lawn tools for lawn care. You'll use them over and over and over again because everything you do needs to be measured. Forget the weather app. If you want to know exactly when it's time to put down seed or pre-emerge it, you need a soil thermometer. You can't judge it by the air temp. You have to judge it by soil temp. Because guess what? The ground warms up way slower than the air. You could have a 70-degree day and still be looking at 45-degree soil. And that's way too cold for germination. A soil thermometer lets you know when everything is right. Seeding, pre-emergent, even when to start fertilizing. It's especially important for spring and fall because your whole schedule depends on it. Just push it a couple inches into the ground and wait a minute. It'll tell you everything that you need to know. This tool is cheap, dead simple to use, and it gives you an actual advantage over your neighbors who are just guessing. If you hate bending over or hate weeds, this is the tool for you. A stand-up weed puller is one of the most satisfying lawn tools that has ever been made. You line it up over a dandelion or thistle, press it into the ground, push, and it yanks out the whole root clean out. You don't need to dig, you don't need chemicals, and you don't want to wreck your back in the process. It's one of the best tools for people who want to go organic or just spot treat problem areas without spraying. It also teaches you a lot about your soil. If you push it in and it's not going in, you might be a little too compacted. If the roots break off easy, you might be too dry. I always use this thing after it rains when the soil's soft, because it's much easier to get the weeds out. All right, this one surprises a lot of people, but mulch glue. If you've ever spread mulch or pea gravel and then had a storm roll through, it'll scatter everywhere. And yes, this mulch glue solves that problem. Mulch glue is a liquid binder you spray over your mulch or decorative rock to make it lock in place. It dries clear, it's safe for plants, and it holds everything down without looking fake or plasticky. It's great for areas near downspouts, windy corners, or slope beds where mulch tends to slide. And if you're tired of constantly re-raking mulch that the dog or kids kick up on the sidewalk or lawn, this will make your life so much easier. Just use a sprayer, soak the top, and let it dry. It keeps your landscape looking fresh longer, and it makes your hard work actually stay put. It's one of those set it and forget it upgrades that beginners never think of. Now let's talk about one of my favorite nitrogen sources, ammonium sulfate. The name sounds intimidating, but this stuff is just fertilizer. It's like rocket fuel for your lawn, especially if you're on a budget. You get a high, fast-acting nitrogen without any of the marketing nonsense. It gives you a very deep, dark green color, and it's also one of the cheapest fertilizers you can possibly buy. You can get it for around $20 or $30 from your local ag store or co-op. Now, if you don't have one of these stores near you, we have a product called Dark Matter 1800 that combines iron and ammonium sulfate for an even darker green than ammonium sulfate by itself. Now, it's not quite in our $50 range, but it comes in at $55 delivered to your front door if you don't have the first option. Last but definitely not least, if you're serious about improving your lawn, you need to do a soil test. In my opinion, guessing is not an option. Not, well, my neighbor uses this, so I will too. You should use a real soil test. This little kit gives you actual data on what your soil has and what it's missing. pH, phosphorus, potassium, organic matter, stuff you can't see by looking at your lawn. If your grass isn't growing right or it's looking pale even after fertilizing, this is where you need to start. It's basically like a blood test for your yard. You collect a few samples, mail it in, and within a week or two, you'll get a full breakdown with recommendations. No more wasting money on the wrong fertilizer and wondering why your seed didn't take. And for beginners, this is the fastest way to level up your lawn, because now you're treating the actual problem instead of just guessing. Every great lawn starts in the soil, period.